Hi everyone, Gavin Townsend here. This video is going to go on my YouTube channel, Gavin Townsend. You can find the link on gavintownsend.com, and we're almost at 1 million views on there, so I'm going to be putting a lot more effort into YouTube from now on, as much as my Facebook fan page. Today I'm going to play a very simple game. We're going to play a game called Before versus After. Has Gav lost his mind? No, he hasn't. Simply put, guys, in the developing world, over 1 billion people globally are obese. And with in excess of 6 billion people on this planet, that shows that over 1/6 of the global population now are obese. So is Gav now picking on the fat people? No, Gav is not picking on the fat people. The reality is, guys, I've been training for over a decade, and 95% of my total one-to-one client base has always been people who want to transform themselves. So people who quite often want to lose a lot of fat weight, get into better condition, build their fitness up, but most importantly, build their confidence up. The underlying reason for most people wanting to lose weight, and fat weight at that, is to help their confidence. Now, personally, I've spent so many years developing my own brands, and as a result, at the start of this year, 2015, I got to about 16 stone 10. Now, I was quite big, I'll be honest. I've always been more into weight training, and in my younger years, in my teenage and early 20s, I was into martial arts and boxing. And just for the last 3-4 years, I've been quite comfortable doing more strongman and weight training exercises. And like most people, I'm not a big fan of cardio, because personally I associate cardio with muscle wastage, as well as just don't like getting sweaty. I don't like getting my clothes all sweaty, but it's a necessary evil, and I now do it. So I took to the stage, did the Miami Pro show. That was my first ever show in October. Did it as a learning curve, really enjoyed it. Come to realise that I need to sharpen up on a few things. So like anything in life, you just have to listen and learn, take it on board and move with it. So I then had 3 weeks. So before my 30th birthday in November, I decided to throw myself completely into the deep end and take to the stage at the WBFF, which is the World Beauty Fitness Fashion Show, down at London O2, the O2 Indigo, which was a massive personal achievement for myself. No, I did not win. I didn't place in the top 5. But for me personally, I'd won a big personal journey. It's something I'd fixated on for many years. Now, if you're in the fitness industry, you can imagine, if you're creating and developing products, if you're trying to stand out, do your own thing, naturally some people are going to take a massive liking to you, and some people are going to take a massive disliking to you. So naturally you get a lot of keyboard warriors, and I've heard it all over the years, so I thought, right, now's the time to do this for myself. And what's great is I haven't heard one bit of negativity since I did that show. I've shocked myself, to be honest. I went from 16 stone 10 at the start of 2015 to 13 stone 4, and put a lot of energy into my training. Just to give you a brief insight into the training leading up to the shows. I was doing HIIT training, cardio training twice a day between the rower and bike and treadmill. I was doing about 1,400 to 1,500 calories a day in calorific expenditure just through cardiovascular training, and also I was eating 7 meals a day. My supplements were quite high. I was using a whole host of different thermogenics, as well as CLA, combined with the likes of proteins and greens, trying to balance my pH levels out, detoxify my system, trying to do a whole host of things. One thing I've noticed is that knowledge is king. And over the last so many years, excuse me, just got a piece of paper. People are more receptive to listening to those who look absolutely shredded or have an amazing body. But isn't it a shame that some people get oversighted, those who've actually physically worked with so many people over the years? Some of the best, most knowledgeable trainers I see don't go onto the stage. They're bookworms. They're literally looking at research, books. But I guess we're coming to a new age, and it's true what people say. Practice what you preach, as much as you are your own advert. So that, I believe, is true. But I would always say, don't judge a book by its cover. So, like I say, guys, some of the most knowledgeable trainers and coaches on the planet are not necessarily in the front cover of these magazines. They're usually behind the guys and the girls who are on the front covers of these magazines. So just take that as a pinch of salt, just a bit of a brief insight. You can see all the Instagram and Facebook photos from my journey from early on this year all the way to the shows. Like I say, I've shocked myself as much as a few people, which has been great. And it's a new journey, new direction for myself, and the most important bit of advice I can give to anyone if you're going into a new journey and into trying to look after yourself for aesthetics is just generally do it for yourself. Don't fixate on comparing yourself to other people, because you will be in for a very low and lonely way of living. I've seen it with a lot of people constantly comparing themselves, so it's just not a good way to live, guys. So do it for yourself first and foremost. So coming back to the original point I was trying to make about the whole before versus after, put it into another phrase: Christmas. It's Christmas coming up. So would you like to lose fat weight and inches before Christmas, or would you like to increase fat weight and inches? So as an example, if you're a male in your 40s and your waistline is 42 inches, which I believe is around the average UK male waistline now of a guy of that age. It didn't used to be, by the way. It used to be a lot less since the introduction of sugars and cereals and all these junk foods, cheap quality foods. Obviously, people have just ballooned over the years, and food has never been so cheap, especially in the Western society. Again, that's why we're a obese nation. Anyway, I'm ranting on. Point is, it all depends on you, whether you start your journey into fitness and into exercise before Christmas or simply after. Just remember that 3,500 calories is the equivalent to a pound of fat. And just remember, if you start your journey before Christmas into fitness, you are more likely to lose fat weight and inches, or at least maintain where you're currently at for the January New Year, New You season. But if you don't, if you're going to be like most people I'm speaking to who say, I'm going to leave it till the New Year. Affordability says I'm going to leave it till the New Year. Guys, go for a cycle, go for a walk, it's free. Or you can just be like the majority of people I'm coming into contact with and park it till the New Year and put on, that's plus, fat weight and inches. And also, guys, I'm really busy right now. So it's fantastic to have 100, 200 people or so contact me in the last 2 weeks since the last show. But please don't chase me down and ask me to help you now if you're going to park it till the New Year, because I'm going to be fully booked. So, and any other decent trainer out there, to ask of their availability come the New Year, we work in a first come, first serve basis, guys. So, again, choose your journey now rather than later. And if you're already committed, fair play to you. You're the leaders in this world in fitness. Have a great day, guys. All the best.